So a couple things happened in 2024. I turned 60 earlier in the year, and then a couple weeks after my birthday, I got smacked right upside the head by a fairly brutal case of oneitis. And I want to talk about it for just a minute because, frankly, oneitis is a very, very dangerous place for a man to end up stuck in. And I had to get myself unstuck. Just wanted to talk about what happened and what I did about it. First, if you're unfamiliar with the term, oneitis is really just an irrational attachment to one woman. In other words, it's the belief that if that woman is not in your life, you're just screwed, man. You're never going to know love. And of course, that is simply not true, but that's why it's an irrational belief. This particular case of oneitis was for a woman I was in a relationship with for about 4 years, and that relationship ended, 3 years ago. And we had wished each other birthday wishes via text in 2024. And then a couple weeks later, I saw something, I was watching something that was very closely tied to how we met. And the next thing I know, I am down a rabbit hole, man. And I am ruminating about that relationship and what could have been and what should have been and my mistakes. And I was in regret and remorse and self-doubt. And these are really negative places. These are really negative headspaces for a man to be in. So naturally, I texted her. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that as a strategy to deal with oneitis, but I was trying to kind of shake something loose because I've been down this path before. And in the past, what I've done is I would sit with the discomfort, and I was just trying to do something a little bit differently. And she actually ended up saying something during this conversation that really helped propel me forward to do the work to get on out of it. She, I'm gonna paraphrase here, but she basically said, "Hey, I have really fond memories of our chapter together." Her words, chapter together. Now, a chapter is a part of a book that comes to an end, and then you turn the page and you start a new chapter. And I was telling a buddy of mine about this over coffee, a pretty close friend who'd recently been through his own adventure with oneitis, and he said, "Wow, it really sounds like she's where you need to be." And he was right. So it really prompted me to get to work. And the first thing I did is I had to go do the breaking up that I failed to do 3 years ago. And I had to get rid of memories. And so there was photographs of the two of us together and of her, and there was memorabilia like ticket stubs, et cetera, of things that we'd gone through together. And they were all in a drawer, and it was a drawer that I'm kind of in every now and again. It shouldn't be there, so that stuff had to go. And then there were pictures of her in my phone. What the fuck was I thinking? Those pictures, they should not be that close at hand, so those had to go. And then the final thing that had to go was a text thread that went back, 7 years. And what a walk down memory lane something like that is, right? So I knew it had to go. I really couldn't bring myself to do it, and I tried, and it really felt like I was just... It really felt like it was getting rid of a little piece of my own personal history, but I was going through and clearing out some other work texts, and I came across it, and just zam, it went. And guess what? The world didn't end, so it was okay. And then the other thing I had to do was I had to go get busy. So I upped my yoga, a couple classes a week, and I made a weight cutting goal and started hitting the gym a little bit harder and doing some work in the kitchen. And I went from 215 to 205, which was a nice goal to hit. And what happened was, doing the work eventually all of a sudden I was out of it. And thank God for it. So listen, guys, here's the thing. Oneitis is a part of life, but it's a very potentially dangerous place for a man to get stuck in. So you gotta do the work to get out of it. You gotta break up with her in your head. You got to get rid of the memories. You got to make yourself busy. You got to go out and you got to take action to make room for new and better things in your life. So at the end of the day, you got to close that book because that chapter is over, and there are plenty of other good novels on the shelf. Good luck to you guys.